Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to another GTA 6 news video where we're going to be focusing on the map in this one. Basically, after watching the trailer, I wanted to spend a little bit of time looking at the map because there's various mapping projects for GTA 6 and some of them are actually relatively close and accurate to what we probably will get because we've got, from the leaks, a coordinate system that will give us an idea. So I do explain all of that in this video and I think we've got a good idea of generally what the map might look like at this point. So yeah, hopefully it's an informative one. This video is brought to you by Bruffy.com/support. Head to that link for all sorts of information on how you can support my channel, from links for direct support to referral codes, and even an article on things you can do to help your favourite creators. In episode 2 of this series, this is what I sort of had my idea of the map to be based on what we saw on the leaks. Now, I don't believe this anymore, but I think some of it I was relatively right on, like with the big lake in the middle. But Port Gellhorn isn't going to be down here. I thought it was going to be down here because Homestead, there's a racetrack at Homestead, there's going to be a racetrack at Port Gellhorn. But I was definitely thinking a little bit too small, I think, with this map. Because, yeah, there's all this area over the left of Florida that I think they're going to try to include in GTA 6. And people have tried to use the info from the leaks to create their own mapping project. And the mapping project for GTA 5 was actually really good over the time, but we'll see some of those here. So this was one of the early ones, right? And the reason that this sort of thing is quite, well, or can be quite accurate is because those leaks that we had, they had in a lot of the images and a lot of the video clips coordinates. So we had a coordinate system. So you can see on this, you've got your coordinates 0, 1000 to minus 1000, minus 1000 down, 1000 up. So what people have been doing is using the coordinate system, or the coordinates of locations in those leaked clips to try and figure out whereabouts it might be on a full coordinate system. So you can see Lucia at the beach patrol HQ, like things that we might have seen in those leaks. Grass River's sign was in this exact location on this coordinate system. These are things that we saw in those leaked videos from last year or whenever it was. And what we can see is there's an area over in the top left here, which to me, that is going to be where Port Gellhorn is. That is the what was it? The Fort Myers, Tampa area of Florida in the left. And we'd also know that there's a racetrack at Port Gellhorn. Because again, from those leaks, there's Port Gellhorn racetrack, and you can see a little part of it on one of the clips as well. So this is what people are doing. Airport maybe here. This is people are clever. Let's put it that way. So then you look at this mapping project, and it gets better and better over time as people do this sort of stuff. Created by Dupazor, but also developed with knowledge of many people. I think there's a Discord for mapping project and things like that. It's all on here, obviously. But again, this is a more up-to-date version where we've got the lake in the middle, which is kind of where I thought it was going to be. And then, you've got the old, from the Vice City game, two sort of set to one island and then the main section. Airport down here. Again, same areas based on the coordinate system that we saw in those leaks. And some of the leaks had mini maps as well to help. That's also true. And then look, Port Gellhorn over here, Port Gellhorn racetrack over here, because we saw a top-down view of like one corner of the Port Gellhorn racetrack. So again, people are very clever. Let's put it this way, that they can delve into all of this. Take all of this with a grain of salt. We might have a little bit of a Homestead area down here, but I don't think that's where the racetrack was going to be that I originally said it was. We've got the Keys area that we saw a little bit of in the trailer. Obviously, that this is all before the trailer has been released as well. Grass River's potentially down here. and then an updated this is so this is that map, but with GTA 5's map over the top of it. So what you can do, because the coordinate system is the same, you can just overlay GTA 5 onto the GTA 6 potential map, and you can see the scale difference. So like it works on the same coordinate system. We've got at the very top here the GTA 5 map, and we've got the GTA 5 map ending. There's the airport down there. And look at how much extra there is on GTA 6's potential coordinate system. There's all this. It's like GTA 5's map doubled over to the left and extended a little bit on the bottom. But northern-wise, it's like the length of the map pretty much, apart from a little bit extra on the bottom, but then doubled over to the left. So it's going to be a lot bigger. Here is the most up-to-date version of this, version 0.024, which I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I literally just found this. But again, it's building up a map based on the things that we know from the leaks and the coordinate system. First of all, that was a big help to be able to do something like this, as we saw in that very first map. And then building it up based on, mini map images. Now we'll probably see new versions of this with the trailer. Again, I'm gonna just zoom in on the bit at the bottom for credit, and there's Port Gellhorn, the Gellhorn racetrack that we saw. One of these was like the corner of the racetrack, I seem to remember from when I looked at those leaks. Airport, Homestead down here, the Keys. So this is more likely to be what the map is going to be. This is that bridge that we saw with the probably with the toll booth on it. We saw in the trailer that the Keys area and things like that. I'll link these. I'm going to put this up as a video as well. I'm also streaming it, but I'll put it up as a video, and I'll link these maps that I'm showing down in the description, and any other stuff that you want to know. But yeah, that's why I was kind of slightly wrong with my original map. But also, it was super early on, but I didn't even think in that original, when we were in that second episode of the GTA 6 news series where I was talking about the leaks, I didn't even think about the fact that they had coordinates on all those clips. It was a really good catch by people, and it's such a help to have that coordinate system so that you can literally place everything down and then go on with it. We seem like we got a prison potential over here, and then I feel like, well, we saw in the trailer that Lucia was in prison, right? She might be in prison at the start. Again, all of this is speculation taken with a grain of salt. It could look very different, but we're giving our best guesses, right? But it's based on actual things. It's not just pure speculation for speculation's sake. She's wearing an ankle bracelet in the concept art. Okay, interesting. So we saw that she was in the prison. The start of the game might be her getting out of prison, right? And we might, I think we're going to be starting in the Port Gellhorn area. I think that'll be like our little town. We'll do robberies there. We saw in the leaks that there was a robbery going on in Port Gellhorn. We saw that, from the trailer that we were robbing a store in Port Gellhorn. I think the game is going to start there, over on that left side with Port Gellhorn. And then, I doubt though to make it too long before you end up in Vice City, but it'll be like, how in GTA 5 where you go play as Trevor for a little bit, and then you take the journey over to Los Santos and it shows you the majesty of Los Santos. I think it'll be like that, similar to the way Red Dead Redemption 2 built it up, where you started in some of the outskirts and then went to the city later on. I don't think they'll leave it that long because Red Dead Redemption 2 was so slow to start, but that'll be like a part of the game where you start in your little town of Port Gellhorn, and then you take the trip to the big city, trying to make it big, make it rich, and it's all just an amazing majesty of an experience. That's my personal thought on how the story might start. and certainly not starting in Vice City itself. Maybe, we'll see. That's my personal thought. But there are some other variations of these maps, but ultimately I would say this is the most accurate in terms of it doesn't add any extra, right? Like, this is just the basics. This is what we know based on the leaks, based on the coordinate system that we've seen from those leaks, right? But there's also other more artistic license taken with some of the other maps. For example, this one, concept map. Again, same sort of idea in terms of the layout, but Port Gellhorn over here, the racetrack. But I would also say there's definitely a little bit more artistic license taken with this. These other things, Metropolitan International and Ambrosia Red Hill, things like that, I don't think that has popped up anywhere. That's just someone making these things up, making these roads up. So I wouldn't necessarily, if you see any maps that are like this, I wouldn't necessarily believe them because there's no way anyone has any information about a map that is this detailed at this point. Same for something like this. 100% nobody has any clue that this is the map in terms of detail. I mean, they've even got like GTA 5 icons in there and stuff like that. Again, it's all based on the same mapping project. This is the true mapping project, really. This is like the maximum that we know about the map, I would say. So just, be aware. Don't believe like the more artistic variations of this sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting that this is speculative of what the map will be. But it's also based on fairly concrete evidence, I think. So we've got a first look, and some of the trailer that we've just seen lines up with this as well. So, and the GTA 5 mapping project, I think, was very good as well when they were doing that before GTA. They got quite close to it by the end. So it is a very well-educated guess, I think, yeah. It's a good question, actually. How are they going to stop you leaving Port Gellhorn to just go to Vice City? I mean, if Lucia has an ankle bracelet, then maybe that will be a way that they restrict you to Port Gellhorn at the start of the game. If she's got an ankle bracelet, she's just got out of prison, they can't go outside of the Port Gellhorn area. You're just locked in there. If you leave, you get, like, I don't know, instant cutscene and caught by the cops or something like that, or whatever. Maybe that's how they sort of limit you there for the start of the game, gets the ankle bracelet off, and then you can travel to Vice City. Or maybe it's part of like the story that, you hook up with somebody who makes it possible for you to go further afield or whatever. This guy might know what he's talking about after all. Yeah, just like the good old days in a way. Yeah, like the old GTA games where you started off in, one side of the map and then you could go to the other side of the map and things like that. So we'll see. I mean, there's a long way to go yet, but I'm everything that I've seen about this, I'm happy. And it's nice that the trailer, what we've seen from the trailer, kind of lines up with a lot of these things that you're seeing here in terms of the areas and the locations and things like that. The mapping project will continue, no doubt, in the run up to GTA 6, and I'll try to cover it a little bit as well as that improves, because some of the roads we might be, these mapping guys might be able to now figure out how the road system is going to be on certain areas of the map now that we've seen them in the trailer. So I want 6-star wanted levels back, that's true. But that's our best guess so far. That's where we're at, and I think that's pretty close. So these are those island bridges. I mean, it also the mapping projects are using, the Florida Keys and Florida in general as a base as well, because that's what it's based on, obviously at a low, and that's what I was trying to do, but obviously at a smaller scale. Like, I was trying to use Miami as a base, but obviously we're going to have this area, and I incorrectly assumed that Port Gellhorn was going to be down here because of the racetrack location, but yeah, the actual location based on the coordinates puts it up here with the Fort Myers area. Lake Leonidas probably in the middle, and that's what the coordinate systems say. But yeah, we got the bridges that we saw in the trailer. It looks exactly the same. that broken bridge with probably the stunt jumps on from the trailer. That's here. It's kind of cool. Like this is the really cool part about a new GTA game, how everything comes together like this. Like I love that about figuring it out as time goes on, seeing little bits from the trailer in real life, piecing it all together. That's what the exciting part of new games are. And it's been 10 years since we've had that excitement when it comes to GTA games. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'll continue with the GTA 6 news series to continue this as we get closer and closer to the release, and try to find out more, and try to just give as much coverage of it as possible, because I enjoy doing it as much as hopefully you guys enjoy watching it.